And I think we're live. Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? We've got Peter, we've got Casper, we've got Joseph,
Yeah.
Noak, Rob, Rohit. Joseph, nice to see you again. TX Meta, quite a lot of people. So, okay, let's get the show on the road. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Town Hall 216. And as always, we've got a jam-packed agenda today, but if you're watching us on X, please show us some love, like, retweet, and repost. And if you're watching us on YouTube, come and hang out with us on Zoom. That's where all the fun happens. So if there's anyone in the room that's willing to maybe share in the chat where you're joining us from today, that would be really cool. No one, no volunteers.
We're gonna slowly get to it. But maybe we can get the volunteer. Don Bosco's here with us today. I was wondering, Don Bosco, have you actually read Welcome to the Experiment slide in the
Yeah,
past?
like twice.
Twice. All right, so you did.
Yeah, I was thinking of nominating Joseph actually to the welcome to the experiment slide.
Joseph
So
usually
Joseph.
I think is fine as he is. I'll be in his corner. I know he probably has some limitations there. But if there's anyone on the call who would like to give us a hand on kicking off today's town hall, don't be shy. And if you're confident enough, just raise your hand and we're gonna kick off the town hall in no other fashion than the usual way. All right, so we're gonna give it a couple more minutes. Let's see if somebody raises their hand, and if you do so, please do so. Faye, how are you doing today?
Yeah, okay, good, good. Glad to be back. I missed out last week's town hall. So it's good to
Good
be
to have you
back
back.
at this one.
I did you
So-
proud. I managed to run this, so we didn't break things too much. I mean, we had some moments where I was looking for some buttons, but things ended up doing well. In fact, actually, I think I accidentally started the stream, I think 10 minutes ahead of the schedule because I forgot that it's automatic, and then I had to rerun it. But
Oh,
it's been,
that does
yeah.
take does take some time getting used to. Exactly. How's it? Thanks for joining. Seydu, welcome. Got quite a lot of people with us today.
All right, good stuff. Just to reorient the room as you're joining in and the Zoom is settling in. Also, folks are watching us on X and YouTube, so hi everywhere to where you might be dialing in from today. So we're asking a simple question: is there someone who is brave enough on this call to help us kick the town hall off with reading "Welcome to the Experiment" slide and maybe sharing how they found themselves on today's call? If not, that's all right. We're gonna cover it, but it's always nice to give that opportunity to someone who you might have not come across yet and are here with us today on the call.
Alexander, would you like to maybe read Welcome to the Experiment?
We could maybe show what that slide looks like. I don't know if everyone has it, but it would be basically looking like this. The other option is, absent of the actual volunteers, we can just, do it together. We can give option everybody else to come off mute who would like to, and me and you, Faye, maybe we'll lead the way and read
Yeah,
it out loud together. I
sure.
don't think we've done it, two of us together. So it will be
No, we
interesting to
haven't.
see whether we're in sync in kick off the time.
Let's go. Okay, three, two, one, let's go.
Let's do it. Well,
Welcome
welcome to the
to the
experiment.
experiment. Things may
Things may
break,
break, lack
lack
documentation,
documentation, differ
differ
greatly
greatly between
between
operations,
iterations,
disorient,
disorientate,
overload,
overload, and
and
inspire.
inspire.
Our goal
Our
to
goal is to
provide
provide a
a
safe,
safe and
lively
lively environment for
environment
you to
for you to
explore
explore
the
the
highest
highest
potential of
potential of
human
human
collaboration.
collaboration. Tripping over each other there. All right, perfect. Well, I think
Uh,
we got what we needed. I think we're ready to kick off another cool town hall. We have a couple of exciting updates. Obviously, we're going to
yes,
be
we
talking
do.
about some of the recent closures and whatnot, but I'll let Faye now in the driving seat and let's kick it off.
Sweet. Thanks, Danny. Thank you for that. Okay, so as Danny mentioned, we've got some cool, decent closures today, and as always, we'd like to share with you guys what's the community building. So our first one is Option Audit. For those of you that don't know, Option Audit delivered a full security review of the Option smart contract language, and this gave developers a more secure foundation for building Cardano dApps, while the report increases transparency and ecosystem confidence. So, without further ado, let's have a look and see what they've built.
Hey everyone, this is the project closeout video for the Catalyst project Option Audit. It's a collaboration between the Option team and Anastasia Labs. And the goal of this project was to analyze the code base of Option, which is a library to generate smart contracts written in the Python language, analyze the whole compiler, and make sure that there are no bugs in this critical component of the smart contract pipeline. So we started on this project last year in June, and it took a bit longer than expected to onboard everyone. But once, so Anastasia Labs in that regard took over the auditing, and once they were onboarded, they produced a really great and very comprehensive audit report. This report is publicly available, and this is the final version here. Let me just download it so that we can see directly. Very comprehensive list of notes they made. They were in direct contact with the Option team, and we made sure that all of the erased issues were actual issues. And then we had 2 steps to resolve the issues. First, we tackled the high priority issues. So as you can see, there's different levels. The highest security level we immediately fixed after the release of the report, and this resulted in version 0.24.4 and 0.24.3 of Option. These releases immediately fixed some critical issues, and we reached out to all users of Option to upgrade as soon as possible. And now we have addressed all the remaining issues. So you can see for every issue there's a description of how the issue has been resolved or addressed, and we have done this for all of the raised issues in the audit report, and this culminated in release number 0.25, which as you can see contains lots of features, lots of bug fixes. This is even just a small part. You can see that many files have been changed and many commits have been submitted to culminate in this latest version of Option. Overall, we are very happy with the result, and very glad that we could reach the desired goal, which was to produce a version of Option in which we are much more confident on its security, which means that we can now progress towards a production-ready version of Option, where we can recommend actually deployment of smart contracts on the mainnet. Before we do that, we are planning to overhaul the contract design system to make it a bit more user-friendly, integrate test cases with feedback on execution cost and memory size, as we have already started also with this project, improve the documentation, improve the handling and error feedback, as also was suggested from the audit. One addition that we have done also, and there you can see our efforts to decrease contract sizes. Some of the bug fixes during the audit have led to increased contract sizes, and now in the latest version 0.25 we are down below the initial levels that we measured at 0.23.1. So in Outlook, we want to further improve Option for 1.0.0 release, but by now we have quite a lot of confidence actually in the production readiness of Option. They're looking forward to proceed.
I'm a really good lip reader.
My apologies there, Danny. I was just saying I took three really great things away from that. Options audit report obviously ensures developers aren't innovating on shaky grounds. As we know, good audits prevent disasters before they ever happen, and the entire audit report is public. So it sets a high security standard for other tooling on Cardano as well, which is quite cool. Next up, we've got full feature open source NFT web forge. Quite a mouthful, but to summarize it for you guys a little bit, and I'm sure they're going to do a great job in the video. This project just delivered an open source tool that lets creators bulk mint NFTs, manage metadata, and host assets on IPs with ease. So without further ado, let's have a look and see what the team did.
Welcome to NFT Web Forge, an open source tool built to simplify NFT minting, metadata management, and decentralized IPFS hosting on Cardano. Created by the Wingriders team, this browser-based application empowers creators to launch compliant and structured NFT collections with no extensions or centralized services. The tool is fully open source and freely available for anyone to use, extend, or integrate into their workflows. NFT Web Forge is built with Next.js and TypeScript, combining backend and frontend in a single modern framework. The tool supports Cardano wallets like Eternal, NuFi, Lace, and Typhon, enabling secure transaction signing and wallet integration directly in the browser. Its architecture supports scalability, integrates with an IPFS service for image hosting, and exposes backend APIs for IPFS image upload, all within a single open-source repository licensed under MIT. Developers can run it locally, fork it for their use cases, or contribute back to the ecosystem. Getting started with NFT Web Forge is simple. Users connect one of the supported Cardano wallets. Once connected, they can start a new NFT collection or extend an existing one. The interface guides users to upload images, which are securely stored on IPFS. Each image receives a unique CID, and duplicate files are automatically detected. Users then define metadata in browser, with built-in validation for required fields and naming conflicts. The tool helps prevent common mistakes, improving data integrity. Once everything is ready, the transaction is built and signed through the connected wallet. After submission, the minted NFTs are recorded on the Cardano blockchain. NFT Web Forge is designed with developers in mind. It includes a complete backend API with endpoints for file upload and pinning, and a mocked IPFS provider for local testing. Configuration is handled via environment variables, making it easy to deploy in production or run in a dev setup. All components, from wallet integration to IPFS communication, are modular and customizable. This flexibility allows others to build on top of the tool or integrate it with existing NFT workflows. The repository also includes test cases and architectural documentation. Thanks for watching and for supporting our Catalyst proposals. NFT Web Forge is here to empower Cardano creators, and with your feedback, it'll keep growing. Everything we built is open, free to use, and ready for the community to extend. We look forward to seeing how you use it, improve it, and help expand the possibilities for NFTs on Cardano. See you in the ecosystem.
Awesome video there.
Welcome to
Again. Awesome video there by Wingriders. Again, I took some really nice points away from that. They were democratizing NFT creation. I think the infrastructure is cost efficient, and I think what's super cool about this as well is that it's empowering non-technical users to make use of the tooling. So kudos to you, Wing Riders. And as always, we've got another lineup of a couple of projects, but we'll share that at a later stage. You guys will get it. You guys will get the deck as well as the video if you're with us on Telegram as well as on X. And then just to summarize the last week, well, we've had 2,222 funded projects. Now with Fund 15, we're hoping to grow that number. We've seen 753 active projects, 1,469 completed projects. So that means last week, 9 completed projects and 17 verified milestones, which is quite cool. Now into, I think what's more important around Fund 15 is our key updates. So as you guys know, reviewer registration. Why become a community reviewer? A lot of people ask, well, what's in it for me? Why should I become that? So one, you guys can see the points on the screen, but as a community reviewer, you obviously provide feedback on proposals, and you help voters who are the ultimate decision makers in determining what ideas should be funded. You sharpen your ability to evaluate impact, feasibility, as well as value for money. You can participate in the Cardano ecosystem, and over time you grow from level 0 to level 1, level 2, which allows you to be eligible for some rewards. And I think what's most important here is you can contribute to you directly contribute to the overall outcomes. So from only being a participant, you now become an enabler of the change that you believe in. What's important is that the community review is opening today. So you guys have to register and subscribe for Fund 15 by November the 27th, 6 a.m. UTC. So what's community timelines looking like? Well, the registration starts today. As you can see, it ends on the 27th. Review period by level 0s and level 1s will be between the 2nd of December to the 15th of December. And then the moderation period will be the week of December the 18th to Jan the 5th. Data released approximately around the week of Jan the 8th, and then community rewards will be in April. If you're wondering how to do this, well, all you have to do is simply scan the QR code on the screen, which will take you to the reviews module, and I'll leave this up here for a couple of seconds for those of you that do want to scan it. Sweet. And in a nutshell, this is Fund 15. I think I'll hand over to Danny to take us through this sort of Fund 15 timeline. Danny, over to you.
Yes, absolutely. So if you haven't already been in touch with in terms of like what Fund 15 timeline looks like in general, so obviously what you just saw was with regards to the community review, but we are progressing quite nicely. What is the next biggest milestone that we're going to be hitting? And that's the submission deadline, which is coming up also on the 27th of November at 6 a.m. UTC, and everything else will follow as intended. There has been no changes to the external timeline whatsoever so far. Now, speaking of this submission deadline, let's take a quick peek and overview in terms of like how far we are so far. So let's check out at the proposer side of the things. We talked about for a second about the reviewers registration, which is going to be opening today, but the next segment is about proposers. Why is that interesting to mention? As we hinted, in about 8 days is the final whistle. So that is the time when you are able now to submit and finalize proposals for the last time. Why is that important? Especially the word finalize. A lot of you are also working with private drafts. Now that we moved away from IdeaScale, that allows you the duality of work. You can actually work on your private drafts, but before to actually see it, the world needs to see it, then you need to submit a public draft and then to turn that public draft into a final version before the deadline comes out. So at the glance overview, what looks like, what is the status today? We put together some numbers just to give you a bit of an overview of all these different categories. So let's jump into that one right away. Now, the most popular ones are between the prototype and launch and the Cardano open ecosystem categories. There's already a bunch of finalized proposals as well. There's also trickling in some really exciting, the new category that we have from the multi-treasury perspective with Midnight, and that's Midnight Compact dApps. So we're seeing already interest picking up there as well. I think as of today, Midnight also had the last day of their Midnight Summit 2025, and they had a big hackathon that was taking place. I think it was the best one they've held so far, and there were some really cool projects that were participating, and obviously we invite the warm invitation to all of those participants as well to give it a look in the Midnight Compact Apps category as well. Now, Tier 1 enterprise integrations, surprisingly, it is still at 0, but I think it was in a similar fashion in the previous funding round. Usually these high profile tickets, they do get to submit in their last hours, as well as in general. Now, what happens in Catalyst, we've seen fund over fund. The procrastination is often very strong across all of the participants. But I will preface the fact that you are better off to submit it and start writing it actually before the deadlines come up. Why? Because everybody's going to be rushing at those gates. The last hours and the last couple of days, the performance may degrade a little bit. So if you don't want to be caught up in any surprises, I do recommend you to finalize your proposals at least a day in advance. So you don't have to fight for the bandwidth of everybody clicking refresh buttons and submit buttons in those last hours, as it is always the case in each of the funding rounds. All right, so if we were to then check out, just to do a little bit of housekeeping, as hinted, November 27th, 6 a.m. UTC is your final deadline upon which everything gets locked and moved towards the next stages. Couple of key questions you need to ask yourself. Again, is your proposal in the right category? We hope it is. This time around, we're trialing the self-assessment checklist, and unless you're blindly answering those checklists, this should give you a really good indication whether your proposal is indeed in the right category. So fingers crossed that you haven't forgotten something of importance there that would actually potentially disqualify your proposal from moving towards the next stages. So make sure you also read those requirements quite carefully and go back and see whether you've actually sufficiently answered all of those questions, whether it's with regards to your team experience, verifiable links and credentials, whether there is some prior work that may be required, or what sorts of requirements others that are coming from the category briefs themselves. So make sure you reread your category brief and then go through that self-assessment checklist and make any final edits that may be still in a draft. Now, any proposals which are left in the draft, they're going to stay there and they're not going to move to the next stage. So always make sure you finalize and signal that your proposal is ready for that next stage. After November 27th, again, as hinted, there will be no more edits possible. And what will happen is that also ongoing moderation will be taking place towards throughout the stage of the community review itself as well. So just because it proceeds towards the next stages, again, it still does not guarantee that it will be included towards the voting ballot as well in January. Again, we have lots of new guardrails and everything, which is actually keeping the submission volume relatively constrained. And that's our goal, to actually minimize the volume, maximize the quality, and hopefully all those guardrails which have been introduced in this funding round are providing quite sufficient enough and useful for all of you proposers participating in this funding round. Now, if you wanted to check out, and if this is the first time you're learning about the fact that there is a Project Catalyst new open funding round, we do have a nifty Project Catalyst fund guide, the launch guide that you'll be able to check out. And I think it's on the next page, where if we're going to pull that up, you'll be able just to take a picture and show that up.
No, it's not on the next page, but the page after that. So I think it's one more update we're missing, and that is the milestone module will be under maintenance tomorrow between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. UTC. Not to stress, we will be giving you some updates about that next week as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
And this one is super, and sorry, that one was a super exciting one because we're going to be rolling out some really cool features which should make everybody's lives easier. A lot of feedback has been collected over the course of the past year and a half or 2 years that we're running the milestone program, and we're always iterating when it comes to policies and procedures, but there's always so powerful when we can upgrade the tooling. So this downtime that will be happening tomorrow is directed exactly at that, rolling out some of the features which will make accountability layer up above the rest up until now as well. The improvement in some of the UX side of the things, but also providing some tools to us as an administrator, the milestone reviewers alike as they're participating in the process, and equally the proposers who are actually submitting their proof of achievements through the milestone module, which is really sitting at the epicenter of legitimacy of the outcomes as such. So the better the tooling, the better the outcomes. And I can't wait for the team to come back next week and to talk about what sorts of updates have been actually rolled out. You'll be able to check out some of the preliminary release notes and everything in the next couple of days as these upgrades get rolled out. But again, one of the really exciting stuff are gonna take place over the next day or so. So I can't wait for these to be in play.
100%, I can't wait for it either. And as you were mentioning, Danny, for those of you who are proposers who'd like to check out and ensure that your proposal is in the right category, or you wanted more information around your proposal and what you should be putting in there, we'll scan the QR code on screen and we'll take you to the F15 launch guide. I'm just going to leave that up there for a couple of seconds for those of you who'd like to go ahead and scan it. Cool. And as always, we've got the Catalyst Horizons annual report for 2025. If you guys haven't checked this out, I really suggest you go ahead and have a look up, see what's been building, what the proposals, or I should say, people who have been funded proposals have been building all around the Cardano ecosystem and world. And talking about world, we've got the Catalyst interactive map. Go ahead. Go down to the Catalyst website, projectcatalyst.io. It's right on the screen. You can take a screenshot. You can click on any of those little numbers you see on the screen in different continents, and you can see exactly what projects are building and what cool tooling or ideas they're coming up with. If you want to stay in the loop, as always, you know what to do. On Telegram, scan the QR code. That's predominantly where we distribute the town hall deck, as well as the town hall deck and a lot of our news. There's the weekly newsletter as well. I highly suggest you go ahead and scan that QR code. You can come hang out with the community on Discord, follow us on X, or connect with us on LinkedIn. And before I go ahead and end this theme, I am going to invite our good sir Don Bosco to come up and share the After Town Hall with us. Don Bosco, you
Hello. Yeah, I'm here. Thanks very for that. Let me present the screen. So hi guys, welcome to the After Town Hall. This is the session after the regular town hall. Do you know, aside from the normal town hall that goes on the Wednesdays, we also have the European Town Hall and the African Town Hall. The European Town Hall is every Thursday, each second Thursday from 5:30 UTC, and the African Town Hall is each second Friday at 6 p.m. UTC. Aside from that, we have communities around the ecosystem. Some of them are Cardano over coffee, where you can go listen, vibe with the community. Is weekdays 3:30 UTC. Also the Odin community. If you're a beginner or interested in collaboration and education, you can always start here from the Odin community. There are always governance workshops, and the Cardano governance workshops is one of them, which can truly give you hands-on experience on governance and anything workshops. We also have Giver Labs. Season 6. These guys have been here for a while, so if you're interested in joining or knowing more about them, you can also register in their platform and be part of the Giver Labs in deciding the future of the community. We also have the WADA Forum. They have hubs across Africa, and they're doing some amazing things. So if you want to join their forum, kindly find the links attached here. We also have the EU Cardano community. So are you in the EU ecosystem, or are you in any of the EU countries? If you also want an EU community tailored specifically for your language, this is the place to be. You can always request them. They are a bunch of happy folks. And of course, lastly, you can always check the 45B on education and anything technical onboarding, devs, any other person interested in Web3, end user onboarding. 45b.io has got you covered. As for the breakdowns, the town hall check-in is still on hold. For today, we'll have Saleh the Cafe and open rooms. And then aside from that, next week, if you are interested in learning or knowing more about the Fund 15, you are welcome to have an open room conversation. We'll have a bunch of people and speakers from the after town hall sessions who will be interested to answer some of the questions the community has. So feel free to book a schedule. If you know a friend, always send their way. And that give me a wrap. You're interested in creating a breakout room to explain your projects or what you're up to around the ecosystem, feel free to go to athblinkslab.io, book a breakout room before every Tuesday, and we should be able to put it up for next week's Salvo. And thank you so much, and that's it from my end. Back to you, Faith.
Thanks, Bosco. Appreciate that, man. Let me go ahead and see if I can get the screen sharing work. There we go. Working now. Well, thanks to everyone who's joined us today. Sadly, our main broadcast on YouTube and X concludes its first part of the tunnel, but as Don Bosco just mentioned, there are some really cool after tunnel slots happening now, and the breakout rooms will be commencing. So if you're watching us on X or on YouTube, don't be shy. Come and join us down over on Zoom. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. See you next week.